So comment, subscribe, dislike, or like. Check out the links in the descriptions for other of my sites, other activities that I'm involved in. Got a whole bunch of Facebook groups you can check out. I play multiple card games, so I do music among other things, so check out the links in the description. This is my Hatchhyack Warp Burn deck. 1 copy of the leader. 4 Super Saiyan 4 Goku Beyond All Limits. 4 Dark Mass King Deluge of Darkness. 4 Trunks Power Overseeing Time. 4 Black Man Saiyan Splintering Minds. 4 Hei Shinron. 4 Oceana Shinron. 4 Dr. Leche. 4 Finn. 4 Goku The Adventure Begin. 4 4-Star Ball. 4 Max Power Kamehameha. 4 Power Burst. 4 Super Saiyan 4 Vegeta Supreme Saiyan Power. 4 Towards Dark Demon Realm Sciences. And 1 Super Hinkai of Time Brainwash. So the burn cards of the deck is Deluge of Darkness, Splintering Mind, Supreme Saiyan Power Vegeta, and Supreme Kai of Time Brainwash, because she has the active main / active battle ability, where if your leader card is black, you can remove this card from the game until the start of your opponent's next turn. Your opponent can't attack with battle cards or unisons unless they choose cards in their life and place it into the drop area each time. So pretty much burn, right? So if they attack, they lose a life. They attack, they crit a life, right? And this card warps your opponent's life. When you do the -5 and pay 4 black energy, send one of your opponent's life to the warp. So warp burn, right? This has the ability to warp one of your opponent's life for each for every 10 cards your opponent has in the warp. You can warp a life from your opponent's life, and then you lose 1 life in the process. So they lose life, you lose life. So keep that in mind. And that happens when this card attacks. Then Splinter Minds, Sparking 7. So you have to have 7 or more cards in your drop in order to trigger this auto. When this card attacks, warp 1 of your opponent's life, warp 2 of your life, and then warp 1 of your opponent's life. So this is how you'll be burning your opponent for game. And we have Super Saiyan 4 Goku Beyond All Limits and Trunks Power Overseeing Time. This is to help you. One helps you with helps you by the fact that they have overrun to be able to trigger Vegeta's auto that gives you +2 markers when you overrun, so that way you can get them up to 5 markers. And then they have the ability that when you play them, they can give you a black battle card from your warp and add it to your hand. So this is a way you can get your Dark Mass King Deluge or your Brainwash Splintering Minds from the warp to your hand. But a really good target for this effect is Oceana Shinron, because of her ability to negate an attack, and she's a blocker, and she has her Floodgate ability that if your opponent was to attack, they mill 4 cards from the top of their deck. So that's always useful. One of the things you definitely want to do is try to get Supreme Vegeta in play. You want to start him off with at least 3 markers. If you overwhelm, then he'll have 5 markers from his auto, and then it's just a matter of protecting him long enough for the following turn where you'll -5, pay 4 black energy to burn your opponent for warp 1 of your opponent's life. So that's something you'll want to try to set up. Something you can do, of course, is wait until you have 9 energy, pay 5 to play him, so he has 5 markers, and then -5 markers, and pay 4 black energy to use his ability. But you have to get to turn 9 in order to try to do that. So it could be hard. right? Not impossible, but it could be hard to get to that point. So trying to get it out sooner than later is better. Like, for example, trying to get it, but it depends when your opponent's at 1 life, right? So if you can play this out on like turn 5, for example, for 5 energy, and then on turn 6, trigger his effect, then obviously that'd be a good idea. Because then you can, do it sooner than later. At least be able to do it by turn 6 as opposed to turn 9. A way you can do it on turn 8 is if you have 2 copies of this card, because you'll pay 4 to play this, attach the second copy to it to give it a marker, so it has 5 markers, and then -5 and pay the 4 black energy to trigger this effect. So you could do this in 1 turn as soon as turn 8 if you have 2 copies of this card. But in order to play this sooner, it'll take 2 turns, which will be the turn you played, and try to give it markers, and then protect it in your opponent's turn, and then on your next turn, trigger the effect. Serene Kanta, I already mentioned that you can use her active main or active battle ability. So you have two moments and 2 times where you have you have the ability to trigger this effect either during main phase or battle phase. So that comes in handy, especially being able to play it during battle. Especially if you play this on your opponent's turn during battle, being able to trigger it in the same battle phase in order to make it hard for them to attack, because if they attack, they get burned, which can lead you to winning just by that alone, right? And she's a 40k body with double strike. Then she has servant, so she'll be a 50k double strike while on the field, so that's useful, especially when you're going for game. So obviously you can use her as a finisher. Spencer Mines already mentioned he's burn. Hey Shenron is, he has crit, he's a blocker, and when he attacks, you can work one of your opponent's battle cards. So this is the way you maintain control of the board. It's not enough to block attacks. You want to make sure that your opponent can't do it again, and you definitely don't want them to add to their board multiple attackers. So this will help you get rid of any problematic battle card, along with Max Power Kamehameha can also do the same thing. Can get rid of a problematic battle card. Toa can either take the battle card or warp it through her effects. So these are ways you can deal with problematic cards, as well as Finn, which is your board, the deck's board wipe, and it warps, so it further feeds the Dark Mask King effect of having 10 cards or more in order to burn your opponent for 1. Oceanus, Flagate, Negate, plus blockers. You can potentially stop 2 or more attacks with just that card alone. That's your reusable blocker, plus it has the ability to mill, which helps you fill up the graveyard for any overwhelm plays you want to do. Goku Adventure Begins with a 4-star ball as your reusable combo, so that we can use it to combo defensively, so you're not giving up any of your good cards, like your negates or your burn cards, your board wipe, for example, in order to just prevent your opponent from doing you damage. So this is a engine you can use to deal with that, plus the 4-star ball Goku combo. That gives you discard fodder, so you can use it for Oceanus. If you need something, something to discard 4-star ball, then just add it back with Goku with Adventure Begins. Max Power Power Burst, negate an attack. If you have 5 or more cards in your drop, you can take a life and play this for free, unless you get a 1 drop from your drop area or from your warp, and Goku with Adventure Begins is a target for that. Max Power Kamehameha negates an attack, and if you warp 4 cards from your drop area, you can add this card back to your hand. so that we can reuse it, especially if we want to negate an attack, and then use this active main to warp the battle card that your opponent, that you whose attack you negate, for example. Like I said, Toa helps you warp battle cards for the effect of, to help you fill up the effect of Deluge of Darkness. And of course, you're going to discard the 4-star ball for that. For -4 ability is obviously your best effect, which allows you to take your opponent's battle card and use it against them. Preferably, you want to take a blocker so you can keep your defenses up. That's it. That's the end of the video.